Everyone who made it to at least the fifth grade or watches nature documentaries knows that the highest mountain on Earth is Mount Everest, historically known as Chomolungma, at 8,848 meters. However, this isn't entirely true. Geography books define the highest peak as the point furthest from sea level, which is anything but a precise definition. Sea level doesn't sit at exactly the same height everywhere on Earth. In fact, there can be differences of hundreds of meters between two locations. This is because the Earth is not a perfect sphere. It is a geoid, slightly flattened at the poles with a bit of a bulge around the equator. As a result, the closer you get to the equator, the higher the sea level is, allowing for a bit of a cheat when measuring a mountain's height against it. If we define the highest peak the way a pedantic mathematician would in a geometry problem, as the point on Earth's surface furthest from the planet's center, the Himalayas are suddenly surpassed by the equatorial peaks of the Andes. The absolute furthest point from the center of the Earth is the peak of Mount Chimborazo, located just 1 degree south of the equator, at a distance of 6,384.4 kilometers. For Mount Everest, this distance is only 6,382.3 kilometers. This means Chimborazo is actually a good 2 kilometers taller than Everest, 2,168 meters taller to be exact. Second place goes to another Andean peak, Mount Huascaran in Peru, which is also notable for having the lowest gravity on Earth. An overly precise measurement. Mount Everest's height was first scientifically estimated by British royal surveyors in the mid-19th century. In 1854, Andrew Waugh and a small team began measuring the mountain based on data from his colleague James Nicholson. After 2 years of work, they published their results. Being English, they measured in feet and landed on exactly 29,000 feet. 8,839.2 meters. However, they officially published the height as 29,002 feet, 8,839.8 meters. They simply tossed in 2 extra feet to avoid the impression that their painstaking measurement was just a rounded guess. But if we go back to calculating in the orthodox sea level system, Chimborazo is only 6,268 meters high, earning it a mere 39th place, even among the peaks of the Andes. It is a rather undignified ranking for a peak that was once considered the tallest mountain in the world. This glorious era is preserved in the Hungarian language, where the mountain's name inspired the word Chimborazo, meaning the absolute pinnacle of something. To make matters even more complicated, there is yet another measuring method, simply calculating the distance from the mountain's base to its peak. Under this metric, the Hawaiian volcano Mauna Kea takes the lead. It rises from the bottom of the Pacific Ocean, making its true height from base to peak 10,203 meters, even though only 4,207 meters are visible above the water. There is an even more extreme approach, arguing that Mount Lamlam, located on the island of Guam, is the tallest of them all. While it rises a mere 406 meters above the Pacific, it sits right next to the Mariana Trench. If measured from the very bottom of the trench, its total height would technically be 11,330 meters, though geographers generally dismiss this calculation as a bit of a stretch.